Lecture 1, Estoppel by Representation. As its name suggests, estoppel by representation is not concerned with promises, but instead can arise when one party makes a false representation of fact upon which the other party acts. Where justice demands, and this flexibility is the key feature of all estoppels, the first party is estopped, that is, barred from denying the truth of his representation. In Jorden versus Money in 1854, Mrs. Jorden had said time and time again that she would not enforce a bond, a type of a debt, against Mr. Money. Mr. Money then married, relying on his belief that the bond, the debt, would not be enforced, and that his financial position was secure. In order to make his position crystal clear, Mr. Money sought a declaration from the court that he had been validly released from the bond, and he also sought an injunction to prevent it being enforced. Mr. Money could not argue that he had been released from the debt under a contract because at the time, the statute of frauds required such contracts to be in writing and signed. He therefore had to argue his case in estoppel. The House of Lords decided that Mrs. Jorden had promised not to enforce the bond in future, but she had not made a statement of fact that the bond had been discharged. Accordingly, she was not estopped from denying that bond was discharged because estoppel only applied to statements of fact and not to promises.